will get started. I don't know almost anyone in Lava. I am new to Lava, but my name is Sam Calisto, and it's nice to meet everybody. I am looking forward to actually meeting you all in person eventually, or via Zoom or phone call. But tonight I just wanted to kind of give an overview and a few first steps and how to take those first steps with the recruiting process. So I have shared my screen here. Can one person unmute themselves and just let me know that they can see my page of college recruiting homepage?
Yep, we can see it.
Great. Thank you. Okay, so we are currently, I was hired about a month ago, and we're currently trying to update the website to include a little bit more comprehensive recruiting guides and information, as well as just resources and links to help me help you. So this is now on the main tab of our recruiting web, or of the Lava website. So if you're just on lavaacademy.com, you'll see recruiting on the main tab. And within the drop down, we have the recruiting homepage, which I'm on, and then commitments and alumni, which will be much more comprehensive as well. So right now I'm on the for athletes and parents main page. It's the same as if you were to click the college recruiting homepage link. And I'm just gonna walk through it a little bit, and then we'll pause in each section. And if anybody has questions, just throw them into the chat and I'll take a look every few minutes. So this meeting right now is for families of freshmen and sophomores. It's okay if you're not that, if you're a junior, senior, or even in middle school, this will still be beneficial. And if you have questions about your specific age group, you can let me know via email or in the chat box. So this is my contact information up here on the top right. And what I've done is I've created a link where if you were to go here on your phone and you click that link, it actually takes you to my virtual business card. And there's a really easy save to contacts button. And that will automatically include all of my contact information, along with a link to the Lava recruiting website, YouTube, Instagram. So anybody who wants to just update me in their contacts, you can click that link. Probably easiest to do it on your phone, and it'll just automatically update everything. Letting a few more people in. Okay, so you guys can feel free to reach out to me. Probably easiest via email. I have a fluctuating schedule. I am the assistant coach at Ventura College for beach and indoor. So sometimes our practices are at inconvenient times, especially during club season, but I am pretty responsive to emails. So please start there. And then one of the first things I am going to be asking Lava athletes to do in order to help me prepare to have conversations with all of you is to complete your questionnaire for your graduating class year. So for freshmen, it would be the class of 26, sophomores, the class of 25, and so on. And what that looks like is, I'm just going to open the class of 26 recruiting questionnaire form. So this is a Google form, and you'll just walk through it and complete all the questions. It's a little bit more basic for freshmen and sophomores. You don't necessarily have to have any information when it comes to college recruiting. If you have no idea what you're doing, that's fine. This will just kind of help me gauge where everybody is in the process, so I don't have to ask the same questions over and over. I can just go to your results and I can prepare before we meet. So you can just take a look at all the questions, move through it, and then I will be in touch with anybody who creates, who goes through the form. The other reason we need to collect your questionnaire is that if you have not already created a sports recruits profile, this will allow us to upload everybody's information for new sports recruits profiles, and then you'll be getting an invitation from sports recruits to join the Lava network. So I'm going to move down then to sports recruits, because every Lava athlete who's a part of, that's a little bit distracting, let's go up here. Every Lava athlete who is a part of a high school age team gets a Premium Sports Recruits account within the Lava network. So that gives you access to way more features than a free account. And just by being on a team, you have access to it included in your fees. So the only way to access that free premium account is to complete the questionnaire, and then for us to add the player's email or parent's email to our network. So just make sure you complete the questionnaire first. I'll be sending an email out to all of your directors that they'll send you with all the links that I talk about in this meeting. And you guys can get started on that as soon as tomorrow. So Sports Recruits is a recruiting platform that we've chosen to use at Lava, and it's really cool, really comprehensive. This is just a little profile preview here of what it will look like when your student athlete creates their profile. And these resources, I think, are going to be the most helpful for anybody who has not started their profile yet. So when you click on, let's see, just general student athlete and parent resources, it has a plethora of information. So even just with getting started, if I were to just click build your student athlete profile, this is something that obviously any new recruits who have not built their profile yet would want to know. And I can't walk through these steps with every single Lava athlete, but Sports Recruits has done a great job of setting everything up to make it really simple. So talks about getting started, to click edit. You can edit my family, essentials, your athletics section. So it really is a step-by-step for every portion of the process. Another example would be building a highlight reel. You can create highlight reels within Sports Recruits, and it talks about how to upload video to your profile. I'll go over what that looks like here in a second, but this how to help section on Sports Recruits is really comprehensive. So the first time you have a question as you're getting things set up, I would go here. And if you still can't figure it out, please do email me, text me, and I might send you a link to one of these pages. But if you're having any trouble, this is what I used to learn it. So I think this would help everybody out a lot. So I'm actually going to go to the Sports Recruits page and just poke around a little bit with you guys. You can see what it looks like. This is on the back end as the club, what our storefront looks like to colleges who might visit our page. They can see all of the members of teams. We have not updated our teams yet because everything's just getting input into our own system right now. So we're going to be doing that over the next couple of weeks. And what I do want to show everyone is, you know, when an athlete does commit, we can have it listed. We have 4 athletes who committed from 2023 who are seniors this year to various colleges. And one of my favorite things is the ability to search for schools. So I want to start with it because it's my favorite part. So you'll see here this map on the right. Do we want full screen view? And then a list of schools on the left. Obviously, if we zoom into any particular area, you can see how many schools are in each state or each section of each state. And let's just say you're really interested into the Pacific Northwest and you like Seattle, then you'd be able to just click into the area and say, okay, I really want to go into Seattle. Okay, I see all these schools. That's really cool. And as you click on schools, you can learn more about that school. So if I click on Highline Community College, which is a weird example, but I'll go with it. They have posted their roster needs. So if I'm a 2023 middle blocker and I see this, I'm like, oh, that's cool. And, you know, potentially I reach out to that school. It has all of the statistics of that school, that it's in the National Junior College Athletic Association and the Northwest Athletic Conference. If they have any commits, they would be listed here. So they do. They have committed athletes from previous years listed. I'm going to go back and show you the search tool because it is so much more detailed than you can even imagine. So if we were to search for first location by region, we'll just go with the West, but it does not have to be very specific to start. If I select West and click see results, I have 290 schools. So we know this, we know that the West is packed, but I can now narrow it down with academics. So let's just say I want to search for a specific major, and I'm just going to do a drop down in health and medicine and health professions and related programs. So it has all the programs that are offered within health and medicine from any college or university that's a part of the program. It's like extremely comprehensive. If I click dental support services and allied professions and I see results, it will narrow down the colleges to now 51 schools. Now if I go to athletics and I just want to see Division II, okay, well, it looks like I'm going to Alaska. So, so as we click through things that we might be interested in, we can see what schools fit the bill. Once we see that, if we're really interested in that specific major, you guys can look deeper into the schools listed, but it's just a great way to kind of explore the schools that are out there in the regions that, you know, your kids might think that they are interested in moving to or staying in. The tool is obviously really cool. It's just really fun too. If you get rid of all of your filters and just kind of zoom into any area and just see what's out there. I think it's really fun for the athlete too, to know that there's so many options in such a variety of locations. So I think that's great, fun tool that is offered for premium sports recruits users. Okay, so I want to show you all what it looks like to me or any of your coaches who log in. We can see stats of athletes and how many times they've logged in and just kind of who's the most active. I can check in with all the kids who say, hey, I'm really interested in getting recruited. I want to get started. And I can see how active they are. You know, when I might give them homework, let's see what they've done. I can tell here on the back end, Lily Hazard, you know, has 77 messages sent, 21 messages received from colleges, 141 views, and she's favorited 40 schools and logged in 15 times. So I think that since she's such a great example, I texted her and asked her if we could use her profile as an example tonight. And she said yes. So I'm going to go to Lily's profile as a really great example of what we want to strive for when creating our athlete profiles. So she has committed to University of Idaho, which is awesome. That happened a couple weeks ago. But her profile has looked like this for the past year, maybe more. And you'll include all of your personal stats. These are the videos that she has uploaded. I will show you more detail about video in a second. We have her contact information, the team that she's on at Lava, but also her school team and information, her personal stats, which I think you should all receive from your individual Lava programs. If not, I'm sure that they'll take them either at your first practice, and if not, you can always just ask them if they can take them and upload them here. Any athletic honors she's listed, as well as her academic stats and additional academic info. So a great example of what we want our profile to look like. Now, I'm technically right now logged in as Lily. So this is what it would look like if I was a player logged into my account. And when I go to, if I were to click activity as Lily, it would provide me with all activity related to me, my teammates, or any of the schools that I've favorited. So, and anybody who's viewed my profile. So if I want to see just my activity, I can look at my activity, but I want to look at everyone, because what's interesting is, since University of Toledo is a part of my favorites list, It's not on the top here, but it is in her favorites. Since it's in her favorites, she gets notified anytime somebody commits to University of Toledo. So Brooke Naniseni is not from Lava, but she committed to the school that I want to play at. And if I know that somebody else is committed, and maybe Brooke, if I clicked on her profile, it would show that she's a middle. If I'm a middle, then maybe I, know that that position is no longer available. So it's nice because it shows you what's happening at the schools you're interested in, and you might, unfavorite the college. If I click that, I might unfavorite that college if I see that somebody else has committed there in my position. It also shows me that Babson College viewed my profile. So anytime you get a view from a college, it lists it here. It also, see all of these commits from her schools. It also shows, when other schools view the profile or view video. And when a school views your profile or views your video, that's sometimes a really nice time to message that school and just check in with them if you haven't already. So what I'll show you now is the messages tool, which is also amazing. Actually, let me go back. So I'm going to go back to favorites right here under her profile picture. It has schools contacted and schools favorited. So the only way for a school to know that you're interested is if you contact them, or through Sports Recruits, if you favorite that school and they want to see who's favorited their school on Sports Recruits to see who's interested, and maybe go look into those athletes. If they want to know what setters from 2023 are interested in their program, they can filter out by those. So you want to make sure you favorite the schools that you're even remotely interested in. And when you click schools favorited, it takes you here. You can rank these schools on your own. This is not seen by the college. This is just what you see on the back end and how you organize the schools that you're interested in. So her top 5 listed, and this might not be in order, were Idaho, Montana, Oklahoma, Toledo, and Cal Poly. So what I can do as the recruiting coordinator when I'm helping students, or what a coach can do, is they can go in and they can help you see, okay, I think, in my opinion, this is a fit. I think University of Montana is a fit. I think University of Oklahoma, I'll just put it as a reach. University of Toledo as safety. So safety would imply, this is maybe slightly under my level of competition volleyball wise, but or maybe it's a school that academically I know I can get into, right? A reach might be a school that's out of reach either athletically or academically, or may not have scholarships available and you have to get into the school in order to potentially walk on. So there's lots of things that could go into that categorization, but it's a useful tool. And then within that, if you do a drop down anywhere, you'll be able to see what you've done on Sports Recruits. So I know that Lily had communicated with University of Idaho via email. The only way that I can see communication is if it's done through Sports Recruits, and I will show what that looks like in a minute. If I drop down in Toledo, she introduced herself, requested help, received a view from that school. Campus visit and offer, she didn't update, but still was able to take steps and see here we have 4 messages sent. If I click view all interactions, I can see the messages that were sent back and forth from that school. So shows favorited, and let's see, there we go. So she was able to, if I see more, she was able to reach out to the school via the messaging feature. And when you do that, it actually goes to the school as an email from you. It doesn't look like it's coming from Sports Recruits. It looks like it's coming from the athlete directly, which is great. It means that they're more likely to open it than if they were to receive something from a recruiting profile. So then you'll be able to see anything that they've responded with. Lastly, there's two more sections I'll show you. Number one is the video section. So up here on the top right, we've gone through profile, schools, now video. You're able to upload direct videos to Sports Recruits, but you're also able to embed videos from YouTube, Huddle, Crossover, or Vimeo. Many of our teams do use Huddle. Some of our teams don't. Either way, it's fine. But if you do use Huddle, you can embed videos from Huddle. I would use the help tool to see how to upload videos from Huddle because there might be specific instructions, but it's not too challenging. You just have to find the right link. And then you can also embed videos from YouTube, which I'll be recommending creating a YouTube profile as part of what you do. So once you do, they appear here. And you can see that she has some videos toggled to visible and some videos toggled where they're not visible. And the visible videos she has titled really well with a JVA West Coast Cup highlight reel, PVL Championship highlight reel. So you can call them anything you want and you can edit them within Sports Recruits. There's also the highlight reel editor on the left. There's a whole section there to help you understand how to complete a highlight. She hasn't created any, so you would just click create new reel and you would add your video there. Again, this is all kind of bird's eye view, but we can go in deeper throughout the season, or if anyone ever has any one-on-one questions, I'm here for it. Lastly, messages. What's great about Sports Recruits is their network and their up-to-date list of college coaches and current coaches. So some of the other platforms, it's like outdated and they don't update it as often. So anytime an email might go out to a coach, and if it were to bounce back, their system gets notified and they go and make sure that that contact information is updated right away within like 24 to 48 hours. And then they would notify you if it was you that wasn't able to get your message through, they would notify you that it's been updated and give you the current contact information. So if I wanted to contact, let's say, Montana, all the Montana State universities come up. So let's just look at Bozeman. Now all of the coaches come up, which is great. So I'm always, and this is good advice, I am always going to contact the head coach, and then I'm always going to add the assistant coach, associate head coach, and director of operations, at least initially. So until I'm communicating back and forth with either a recruiting coordinator or an assistant coach, I always want to include the head coach and all contacts within a program, because head coaches get a lot of emails. They don't normally get to all of them. And assistant coaches are more responsible for making sure that they filter through things and get them to the head coach ultimately. So just make sure you copy everyone listed on a program's roster. The cool thing here again is you don't have to go to the website of the school. You can just type in the school's name and see all of the coaches, click through them, and you can put your subject, which would be, Lily 2023 middle, be more detailed than that. And then you type your message and you can save a draft, or you can send that message and it will go, again, it will be from Lily Hazard. It won't be from Sports Recruits. And it will always include a link to her Sports Recruits profile. So any additional links you want to include, like your YouTube link, your Instagram link, you can add within the message, but it always automatically includes a link to your Sports Recruits profile. So the messaging feature is almost as awesome as the map feature. Okay, so now I'm going to go into just another bit of what we recommend, which not only is a Sports Recruits profile, but so many coaches check different types of recruiting. And these days, Instagram is a pretty popular option. So if you were to follow a program and if you were to have your Lily Hazard 2023 middle as your name, and you follow my school, I'm more likely to follow you back knowing that this is a recruiting profile when you're specific about your grad year and your position. So we do recommend that everyone create an Instagram profile specifically for recruiting. And she has a link to her YouTube channel, which is here. So when they click that, it goes to her YouTube channel with highlights. However, we recommend going one step further and creating a link tree. I have a link to that on the recruiting page of the website, but creating a link tree for free, you have the ability to add a link to your Sports Recruits profile, your Instagram, your YouTube, or any other free or paid recruiting services that you use and would include here. So maybe your Huddle profile, you would include here as well. And this is what it would look like if you have a link to your link tree here instead of to YouTube. They would be able to click it and either visit your YouTube, your Sports Recruits profile, or your Huddle profile when they arrive at your Instagram. So you want to create a link tree. I'll come back to these. So I'm going to go back to the recruiting page of the website. And again, I can answer questions if you have them. If you have them, put them in the chats and I will get to them if I see them come in. I don't see any yet, which either means I'm doing a really good job or you're super overwhelmed. So hopefully it's the first one. Okay, so Sports Recruits, again, free service for us. Okay, so the question I just got, so where do we find the link to Sports Recruits? You can go to the Sports Recruits website, but the only way to get your access to your premium account, unless you already have one, is going to be by completing the questionnaire for your recruiting class, because we have to upload you to the system for you to be in our network. So if you already have a recruiting profile, then great, and just make sure that we update you this season. So if you're getting, you still have to fill out the questionnaire regardless. So just do the questionnaire and we'll make sure you're updated this season and that you're in the system, and you'll receive a link via email to set up your Sports Recruits profile. And yes, I will be sending a recording of the webinar. Okay, let's see, a couple more questions. So do some colleges favor other platforms besides Sports Recruits? Yes. And I would say Sports Recruits and like NCSA are pretty equal when it comes to just coaches checking in on both. There's also a few other like free profiles that you can create on other platforms. I am going to put links to those up on the website. I just haven't yet, but I would definitely get started here first, because this is going to be the most comprehensive and offer you the most tools to use within the recruiting process. So yeah, an account setup link will be emailed to you once you create your questionnaire and we add you to our system. So number one thing that you have to do following this up, and this will be in the email that we send out, complete the questionnaire so that you can get a link to your Sports Recruits to set up your Sports Recruits profile. Okay, moving on. So I've included on this main page some helpful links. So some Lava links are just to our YouTube. We don't have anything on it yet, but we will be posting kind of helpful recruiting videos. I will put a recording of this meeting on our YouTube, and the YouTube link is also in that contact card that I showed you earlier. Also to just our main Instagram, our Twitter, and our Facebook. Then we have NCAA links. So part of the recruiting process, this is not as applicable to freshmen and sophomores, is going to be registering with the NCAA Eligibility Center later on when you're a junior. But you can always look through recruiting information, the complete NCAA guide and toolkit. Again, this is not as applicable as early on, but they do have recruiting calendars, which explains how it works for, freshmen and sophomores and what you're allowed to do and what coaches are allowed to do. So kind of becoming familiar with this is good. I'll be doing a variety of recordings and some meetings throughout the season to kind of review some of this. And I'm also going to have a resource page on the website that talks about it, but the links are here. There are core courses that are mandatory to be eligible to complete in the NCAA. So if I look at NCAA academic eligibility, that takes me to this brochure that talks about the core course requirements in 4 years, 3 years, all the stuff that you need. And then likewise, I can actually search for my high school list of NCAA courses. So they have a toolkit where you can put in your high school and you can search for the NCAA core courses that your high school offers, which is nice. So those links are all available on our recruiting page, as well as NAIA links and community college links. So these are all the kinds of schools that have volleyball programs at their college, and links to give you information about which one might be a good fit for you. So we have an article about what to know about going junior college, a list of all California community college, and a list of all non-California community colleges. NAIA is not the NCAA. It's more private institutions, but there's still an eligibility center that student athletes need to walk through and complete before they commit to any of those schools. So walk through that a little bit on your own, but we'll be talking through it with any athlete who goes through the recruiting process. Additional education and links, completing the FAFSA, I don't ever want to say that again, but completing that financial aid eligibility form before going to college is great, because you can see what type of financial federal scholarship aid you qualify for. How to create a Linktree profile, so that just takes you to Linktree if you want to create a profile. The last thing here on this main page I want to review is Honest Game, which is an academic eligibility resource. Their Instagram is amazing. I'll just click National Letter of Intent. So I'm sure most of you have at least heard of a National Letter of Intent. Their Instagram, they have it defined, right? And tells you that once you've promised to attend a school, you'll sign an NLI once, but if you receive an athletic scholarship, you'll sign your grant in aid yearly. So kind of gives you a general definition of a few things, and they post all the time. Talks about some of the stuff they offer, but they have a myth buster. I already filled out my FAFSA and will only need to submit it once. So that's a myth. Student athletes must fill it out from form every year while they're in school to stay eligible for federal student aid, but filling out the renewal form takes less time. So just really interesting stuff here. I recommend that everybody follow Honest Game who's interested in competing in college, because the academic side is equally as important as the volleyball side. Their link in bio, which is kind of like Linktree, takes you here, which has a link to their blogs and stuff. So this is a what it means to commit to a school and NLI. So it's still about National Letter of Intent. It's all related. But if you click it, it takes you to their blog about what it means to commit to a school. So a much more detailed description of National Letters of Intent and what goes into it. So again, this is all available now. I will still share some of these blogs that I find really useful on the LAVA website, or at least links from the LAVA website to these, but I strongly recommend following Honest Game on Instagram. And on our homepage, it does have a link to their website, but also their Instagram. Again, it says recommended. That's everything that's on the main page of our recruiting page. It's organized in terms of importance right now. So first things first, recruiting forms, fill out the questionnaire for your recruiting class, and then sports recruits with all of the resources that are available to you guys, which the last one is a college recruiting guide that is really useful. I'll click just the beginning of it, talking about setting your goals and getting started within that. This is all free, so you guys can just take a look anytime you're interested in how to build an online presence, contacting coaches, how recruiting works, college prep. things that I can go over with you, but that is also a toolkit that is available to you for free. And the link is posted on our recruiting page under college recruiting guide. So that is the main page for college recruiting on the Lava website. We have a few subpages that I'm going to edit, but we have making a recruiting video with a description of what to include for highlights. We have an email template that is a sample email and would definitely need to be catered to each college you email, but also changed for you as an individual. Recommendations for calling college coaches. The NCAA divisions explained, kind of the differences between Division 1, 2, 3, NAIA, and junior college, with some recruiting facts. And finally, a recruiting guide year by year, which we are going to update to include more detailed PDFs. And those PDFs are going to look a little bit like this. So it'll have for 9th grade what to do in July, August, and September. I know this has passed for many of you, but we will include it moving forward. And then likewise, October, November, December, January through March, and April, May, and June of your 9th grade year. So these should be up in the next week or two. Let's go with week. Why not? And you can kind of walk through it and see where you are in the process. And when you stop on one of the categories that says, okay, discuss obtaining stat information and game films from your high school or club coach, and then including it on your sports recruits profile. So if you're doing that and run into an issue, you can email me within that process. But again, this will be up for you on the Lava recruiting website under the homepage tab, under recruiting guide year by year. And that's most of what we have right now. I am, again, available to anybody for questions anytime via email. This recruiting tab of the website should help you get started, and we will be posting, I will be posting under the recruiting forms. We'll have multiple questionnaires. We will also have some, not homework, but a checklist for like a pre-tournament checklist. So before we go to, let's say before we go to Vegas, we will have some pre-Vegas checklists to make sure that we're prepared to potentially, you know, talk to coaches when we're old enough to talk to coaches face to face, or at least just making sure our accounts on our Instagram and our YouTube, our Huddle, and our sports recruits are all up to date and have all the information that we want to share with coaches, because I will create a roster of athletes to share with coaches who are attending that tournament so that they can see everybody's film information and potentially get in touch or, you know, mark off our athletes as potential players. So for now, I think that's it. If anyone has any more questions for now, you can put them in the chat. But again, priority number 1, fill out your questionnaire. You'll receive an email from sports recruits. What day is it? It's Thursday. You'll probably receive an email from sports recruits early next week to set up your profile, because as we get all of the questionnaires that we get today and tomorrow, we will send them off to sports recruits and they'll update them within, I think, 2 business days. So Friday, Monday. So yeah, early next week, you should be getting an email from sports recruits to set up your account. And then as you're getting set up, if you have any questions for me, please let me know. And I'm not seeing anybody's questions. So if you have no other questions, I hope you all have a great weekend, and I'm super excited for the season, and I hope you all have the best practices and love your coaches and have a great experience. And thank you. Thank you. I'm going to stay on because I am meeting with 17s and 18s at 8. So if anyone does have a question, I'm here and can stay on. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome to everyone saying thank you.